Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Today is Thursday, February 16th. It's our college basketball betting edition, and we will have 3 college basketball free picks for you today. And hopefully you're not overwhelmed because I have 3 of the best handicappers in the country with me today. And we're normally don't do these 4-man panels. We will during the NCAA March Madness and our NCAA tournament. But today we're going to do something special here because of the All-Star break. We had to squeeze everything, condense everything this week. So here we are. I'm joined by Jesse Schul of jesseshul.com. Also, Sean Higgs and our newly acquired star handicapper, Mr. Joey D'Amico. Joey, we haven't had you on in a long time. You're going to be on with us regularly now. So tell the folks where they could find you, how you've been doing of late, and anything else about your new show that you have on YouTube as well.
Well, Ross, it's an honor for me to be here with you. You've been an old friend to me many, many years. And, you know, we became friends because I really respected all the work you do. I'm also happy to be here with 2 of my best friends, not just in the industry, but in the world, Jesse Schul and Sean Higgs. You know, you're only the best when you go up against the best, and you've got 4 of the best in the industry. As far as where you can find me, I'm on a slew of websites, everywhere from sportsmemo.com to sportscapping.com. Between college and pro basketball is what I am contributing to right now. Over the years, I have 13, that's right, 13 number 1 finishes between the 2. That's more top finishes than the Celtics have titles, guys. I will tell you, we do have a very popular show on YouTube. We were on another brand where we had 6,000 subscribers. We just went on our own. That's my wife and myself. In the history of the sports betting business, never has there been a husband-wife team. And we have a new show on YouTube, 1ST, that's first, 1ST, Family of Vegas. Please go and subscribe. We got a lot of great cappers. The guys you see here on this panel are all contribute. Lots of fun. We're going to have celebrities. We're going to have a few ex-athletes, some race and sportsbook directors as well, and a few laughs to boot. But on the websites, I also have one other place you can find me. I have a very, very popular free pick phone. I'm old school, Ross. I'll tell you that. I may look younger than the whole panel, but I'm very old. I'm older than everybody here. And
well, today you look like a dark Italian, that's for sure.
Well, you know, normally I'm doing shows a little bit later. We don't have any natural light here in Vegas yet.
It's snowing. Isn't it snowing in Las Vegas?
You know, it did snow the other day here after a 67-degree day. So I did work on my tan a few days ago, so bear with me. But I do have a very popular free pick phone. Every day on a pre-recorded message line, you hear my wonderful voice, and I give you a free winner. No callbacks, no sales pitches, no BS. 1-800-563-8854. That's 1-800-JOE-8854. By the way, my documented record on the free pick phone, 1,799, 694 and 23. That's 72% since mid-May of 2015.
What's that number again, Joe?
1-800-563-8854.
Speaking of shedding some light, Jesse Schul, how are you, my friend?
I'm feeling great, Ross. Coming off a big day. I swept the board last night, so you know that's always a pleasant way to start the day.
Yes, it is. And you've been doing awfully well since the calendar year turned to 2023. You're coming off a great year in 2022 as well. You could find Jesse over at jesseshul.com. He's also on sportsmemo.com, sportscapping.com, picksandparleys.net. And just like the gentleman below us who's on picksandparleys.net and sportscapping.com, Mr. Sean Higgs. Sean, how's everything treating you this morning?
I'm excited that the NBA is off for a week plus for the All-Star break. I mean, if these guys, I mean, a week off, you take off, these guys take off every other game. But I like it because, you know what, next week I could just kind of lure everybody into why we're going to bet baseball. Nobody wants to bet baseball, but now I got a whole week to do futures for baseball. So I'm excited about that. I like baseball. Baseball is my favorite to bet on. I don't know. Maybe because I can bet 15 games and not lose any money when you go 7-7 because you take underdogs. Like the best team in baseball is going to lose 60 games, folks, and they're going to be favored in every one of those most of the time. You could make it's ridiculous. You could be 30 games under 500 and make money, yet people do not want to do it. I don't know. I don't get it. I do not get it one bit.
Always a rant from Sean Higgs, and always a good one. Anyway, look at where
you see where my brain is. It's like I think it's like to me. I'm like my kids. I'm like it's already the weekend. I'm like it's Tuesday. I'm like, well, it's really Wednesday because we're eating dinner, and then tomorrow's almost here. So baseball, I'm thinking it's April, and we didn't even get to conference tournaments yet for the college basketball.
Exactly. Exactly where I was going. We only got 2 weeks before March, and we have March Madness that's sneaking up on us. But today we have 3 real good college basketball games, folks, because of our 4-man panel. These 3 gentlemen that I have aboard here, and I'm very lucky to have all 3 of them, are going to give you 3 free picks. Each guy is going to give you a free pick. Joey will be covering the Gonzaga and Loyola-Marymount game tonight. See if Joey likes Gonzaga with revenge. We never know. And Utah at Arizona will be covered by Sean Higgs. And then, Jesse, you're going to start the ship off here. Purdue and Maryland, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time on a Big Ten network. Right now, Purdue is a 1-point favorite. The total is 132.5. Something's got to give here, Jesse. Maryland's one is 7-0. It's straight up in conference home games, while Purdue is coming off a loss. Is it possible the Boilermakers will lose 2 in a row?
Well, Ross, I wasn't even going to tackle that subject because I'm going to focus on the total. I gave out the under in the Alabama-Tennessee game last night on this show. That worked out for me. I'm giving out the under again. It's 132.5. Purdue's lost 2 of their last 3. They lost their last game 64-58 at Northwestern. They did beat Maryland 58-55 at home back in January. The total was set for 132 in that game. So basically the same number here. The bookmakers haven't adjusted despite that low score in the last matchup. The under is 7-1 in the last 8 meetings between the 2 teams. The under is 8-2 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Maryland, 13-1 at home. You alluded to that. They are a beast at home, and they're also a beast defensively. They're only allowing 59 points per game in their last 5 overall. A lot of under trends, and it's the time of year to be betting unders, ladies and gentlemen, this time of year. Under is 14-6 in Purdue's last 20 off a loss. The under is 10-1 in Maryland's last 11 off a win. And the under is 14-5 in Maryland's last 19 overall. I'm going under 132. That's my play.
I got 132.5, so we'll give you that, okay? Purdue and Maryland under 132.5. I can't disagree with that pick. Like you said, he cashed in yesterday easily on the Alabama Tennessee game, going under. He had it at 145. It went up to 147 right after we went off the air. But Jesse was spot on, as that game didn't even come close to approaching a number. In terms of your pick today, I don't like the side. I would like Maryland if Purdue wasn't coming off a loss. So, but having said that, I'm going to pass on this game. Sean, any quick thoughts?
I took Maryland yesterday plus the 1.5. I was dumb for, so I see these low lines. I automatically, you can't pick and choose. You just got to go for it. Like we saw Oklahoma State, Syracuse, Tennessee, all the crazy little lines. I don't overthink it. I'll play it out long term. Give me the Terps here at home.
If it looks too good to be true in sports betting, more times than not it is. Joey, any thoughts on Purdue and Maryland?
Well, Ross, I'm going to tell you, this is a game I felt very strongly about this morning. And real quick, just like my wedding night, very potent, but very quick. I'll keep this. There's no question. Purdue is a very good team. However, in my opinion, they're starting to show cracks. They dropped 2 of their last 3, both straight up and against the number. At Indiana and at Northwestern, now they're going on the road and they play a Maryland team, which is a very respectable 13-1 at home. That's straight up. Maryland's been a thorn in their side when it comes to against the spread. They've covered 7 of the last 8 meetings for us bettors. And if you look at the past several meetings, they've been decided by 3, 1, 1, and 3 points. They play this team very tough. And as a matter of fact, the Terrapins are playing some very good basketball themselves, winning 5 of the last 6 straight up, 7 of the last 10 against the number. Both teams are healthy and both teams match up well with one another. So I really do feel there's an edge with taking the points with a home dog here. Maryland's covered 16 of the last 21 at home. I'll take the points with the Terps.
Okay, so we got 2 guys on Maryland, and Jesse likes the under. That's his official pick. And, can't disagree with your Maryland take, guys. I'm only hesitant because Purdue's coming off a loss, but Maryland not only 13-1 at home, but 7-0 at home in conference play as well. All right, over to Sean. He's going to take a look at the Utah and Arizona game on the Pac-12 network tonight. That game goes at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Currently, as we speak, Arizona is an 11-point favorite, and the total in that game is 148.5. Sean, where are you going with this?
So, all right. So I saw a 10 and a 147. So we're around the same numbers here.
Yeah.
These two. But, yeah, UCLA, 2 games ahead of Arizona. So you think Arizona's will come out, right? Big revenge spot. They lost by 15 up in Utah. I'm gonna follow the Jesse lead here and take an under though. I'm gonna stay off the side here. I don't want to lay double digits, although I think Arizona should probably cover this number. And that's based on Utah on the road, an under kind of team. They're just an under team overall. I mean, very good defensively. They're probably a top 40 defensive team with their efficiency. I mean, 17-9 to the unders as it is on the season. And now you're in a spot where you already whipped these guys and you're without your second leading scorer. They're more of I don't say like a plotting kind of team, but you go through your center. Arizona is always long, length, defensive, pretty good, outside shooters. But the total looks a little high for me because I'm not expecting a lot here from Utah. And when a team beats you pretty good, I always look for you to come back, D up, right? Best way to win is for the other team not to score. Let's have some defense here. 140, I'll call like a 147, I guess, because our 2 lines are a little different. But give me the under here between these guys. I mean, Arizona 5-1 the under, last 6 at home. I continue to see that defense. Let's go under the total.
Yeah, I got 148.5. I got just before we came on the air, and that Arizona line did move from 10 to 11. Right. So again, depending on what book you're looking at, we're in the same neighborhood. Arizona, they're coming off a loss against Stanford. Shocking loss at Stanford, losing by 9. This Wildcats team has lost.
It is 11. Oh,
yeah.
I checked at 9:30. It was 10 and 146.5.
Yeah. Now it's
up to 140. I see 148.5 now.
Yeah.
Whatever. I still like the under. I don't know.
All right. Utah and Arizona under 148.5. Utah has scored 63 points or fewer, I believe, in 5 of their last 6 games. They sometimes struggle mightily and can't put the ball in the ocean, let alone in the net. So again, you like Utah, Arizona under 148.5. Joey, thoughts?
Well, I want you to know even quicker and sweeter than my wedding night, I'll tell you. I thought this game was very tough. I think I think Sean made a lot of good points in this game. Team comes off a loss, team comes off a win, playing at home, big revenge. I think this is a very, very difficult game. I will tell you this. I think there are better games on the board. This is a game, sports fans, that I'm going to watch and allowed to gauge my future the second half of February on these 2 teams, how I start looking at them, because both of these teams really need this win, in my opinion. I have Arizona winning by 14, 15, 16 points, but that doesn't mean they're going to. I think emotion plays a big part, and I will tell you this, in my opinion, there are better games on the board. I'm just going to sit back and watch it so I can further gauge the second half of February, how I look at Utah and Arizona.
Yeah, just good stuff, Joey. And, Arizona, 4 losses this year. They're coming off a loss. They're 3-0 straight up following a loss this season. All 3 of those wins came by 13 points or more, including a 15-point win at Utah. Jesse, any thoughts on this Arizona-Utah game?
Yeah, I mean, I like Sean's take on it, and I think at this time of year, you can't go wrong with unders. I think these teams are going to tighten up defensively in these conference rivalry games at the end of the year as we get closer to conference tournaments, and you will start seeing lower scores. And I don't think the bookmakers have made those adjustments as of yet.
There you go. And on to the final game. And we're going to, last but not least, Mr. Joey D'Amico, Gonzaga and Loyola-Marymount at Loyola-Marymount. That game goes at 11 p.m. Eastern time tonight on the CBS Sports Network. So it's a watch and win special here. Gonzaga right now, I have them at -8, but Joe, I looked at the total in this game and it varies anywhere from 153 to 155, depending on where you're looking at. Gonzaga was upset by Loyola-Marymount at home as a 16-point favorite. Do they get the revenge? And if they get the revenge, do they cover the 8, Joe?
Well, Ross, as you know, I'm Sicilian. I know a lot about revenge. I'll tell you this, just prior to this segment, the majority of the money of this game is coming in on Gonzaga. And why not? They own an overall record of 21-5, second in the WCC at 10-2. They've won 16 of the last 18 straight up, and they've taken 9 of the last 10 against today's opponent. Having said all that, I think we would all agree that this isn't the same Bulldogs team we're accustomed to seeing over the years. And for people like us, sports bettors, and this is not about who wins, it's about who covers sports fans. Doesn't matter who wins. They're just 8-16-1 against the number this season. They're not as dominant as they normally are for sports fans. This is a revenge game for them. They took a heartbreaking 68-67 loss at home against the Lions about a month ago. I expect them to be fired up here. I look for them to look for a little bit of payback. However, Loyola ain't no pushover, guys. They're a pretty darn good team themselves. 17-10 overall. This does include what? An 11-2 home record. And they've also covered 17 of 27 outings this season. They're a bit healthier than their counterpart this evening, and they themselves can put up points, especially on this Gonzaga defense. LMU, they average over 75.6 a game, while the Zags, guys, they're getting plowed for over 74 a game. As I mentioned earlier in this analysis, this isn't the same Gonzaga team we're used to seeing. They're giving up points, and they're not outscoring every opponent by those big numbers anymore. Having said that, this team's covered, this is a team that's covered 16 of the last 21 at Kirsten Pavilion. In my opinion, the Bulldogs will get their revenge. They will get a win. However, and there's always however, how about but? Because I like a very big but this is way too many points for them to lay. So I'm going to side with the home team here. I'm going to take the points with LMU, and I'm going to take my bookmaker's money.
Joe D'Amico is going to take his bookmaker's money with Loyola-Marymount, the Greyhounds, +8 at home against Gonzaga. And, Loyola-Marymount in that upset win over Gonzaga, you said that Gonzaga isn't the same Gonzaga as old, and they out-rebounded the Zags by 9 rebounds in that game, which is something we rarely see with Gonzaga within conference play. They're usually dominant on the boards, but going back to what Joey said, it's not the same Gonzaga team. Jesse, your thoughts?
Well, I've got an interesting tidbit about this game and this conference. I've got a bet on Gonzaga at +350 to win the West Coast Conference. They're a game back of St. Mary's as we speak. We expect both teams to win out. They play each other on the 25th of this month. If Gonzaga wins that game, they'll move into a tie with St. Mary's. And the first tiebreaker is head-to-head in the conference. They both lost to the same opponent, Loyola. That cancels out that tiebreaker. As I understand it, the next tiebreaker is RPI, where Gonzaga is by far superior. And Gonzaga can win if they win out and then beat St. Mary's on the 25th. They're currently +350 at Bet365. That's a bet that I've given out on shows, and I'm cheering for Gonzaga to at least get the W tonight. I don't care if they cover.
There you go. And Gonzaga is always going to have a superior, what do you call it, RPI, Jesse? Is that what you referred to? Because their non-conference schedule is brutal. Sean, your take.
I got to lean the dog here. Loyola at home, they beat St. Mary's here by 4 in OT. And granted, Mary's was off their big win over Gonzaga, but even their other home games here, Pepperdine, Portland, their loss to San Fran was by a bucket. I just can't lay 8.5 with Gonzaga. This, as Joe said, this is not, we've said this before, this is not that same kind of Gonzaga team where they're 27-2 and running, roughshod over the conference, and their one tough game is, at St. Mary's or maybe at BYU or something. So 8.5, a little steep. I would lean to the dog here at home.
All right. There you have it, folks. So in review, and I'll make sure I get this correct. And fellas, if I make a mistake, please correct me. Joey, you like in the Gonzaga Loyola Marymount game. Tell the folks again who you like.
I like the dog at home. I don't think they're going to win the game outright. I think Gonzaga gets a little revenge, but I think the point spread is way too big. I'm taking the Lions. Okay,
so Loyola Marymount +8 over Gonzaga for Joey D'Amico. Sean, your Utah-Arizona game, your pick is?
Under the total. We're saying about 148.5 now since it's changed. So 148.5 under Arizona and Utah.
And Jesse, Purdue and Maryland, you like the under 132.5, correct?
Roger that, Ross.
Okay, so there you have it, folks. 3 winners. By the way, our last 4 college basketball videos on this channel were a combined 10-3, 2-1 yesterday. If you watched ourselves, everybody but Joe yesterday was on the show. And Joey, tell the folks where they can find you, where you prefer they find you. Okay.
Well, guys, okay, thank you, Ross. And once again, thank you for having me. I'd love to come back as a regular. Hard to compete with Sean and Jesse, but I'll do my best. Everybody can find me on YouTube at 1ST Family of Vegas. You can find me on my free pick hotline every day on a pre-recorded message. No callbacks, no BS, no sales pitches. Nobody's going to call you and say that game stinks. I got a better game for you. 1-800-563-8854. That's 1-800-JOE, 8854. Plus, I'm on a slew of websites, sportscapping.com, playbooksports.com. I'm on sportsmemo.com. I'm on a ton of them. Come and find me. I'm on there with Sean and Jesse and Ross, quite a few of those websites. And you're only the best when you go up against the best sports fans. I'll tell you that.
As I affectionately call him, Joey Baloney. Is one of the best handicappers in the country, folks. And he told you where you could find him. And don't forget his 800 free pick phone. Utilize that, folks. Because if you can get something free from Joe, take it. Jesse, tell the folks where you prefer they find you. I'm assuming jesseshul.com. What you got going on right now, Jesse, what you might have coming up?
Well, I'm coming off a perfect 3-0 sweep with college basketball last night. Got just one game today. As of right now in 2023, 75-40 overall, plus 22,190 units. And yeah, you can find me at jesseshul.com and at jesseshul on Twitter.
Yeah, he's telling you just about 2023. 2022, he was sensational as well. As a matter of fact, he was number 1 at Sports Memo in the NFL. And the guy below him, Mr. Sean Higgs, was number 1 at picks and parlays in the NFL with an outstanding record for a guy who puts out a large volume of plays. He hit well over 60% with his NFL picks this year, but the NFL is over. So, Sean, tell the folks your college basketball. We won't even talk about the NBA with you because we don't have enough time for one of your rants with that topic. So go right ahead, Sean.
Can't stand the NBA. I can't do it. Why do you gotta get me cranked up with the end? So college hoops will be front and center for me. I love it. We got conference tournaments in 2 weeks. As I say, I keep saying all the time here, I'm trying to get people plant the seeds. Sunbelt, Horizon, here we come. They're at the end of the month. So I cut straight on my college hoops. You can find me Twitter, Mr. Sean Higgs. Picks and parlays and the Win a Free Pick sister channel, and every day midday money. There you go. Just type it in anywhere. It's on the podcast channels. There's actually sometimes a late night money during the week. You love it. It's loads of free picks. People love the free stuff. Let's be honest. They're watching the video. They just want to hear what we got to say. I don't mind. You'll get a bunch of free picks from me all the time.
There you go. And you can find me at rbwins.com. That's rbwins.com, folks. My single game and multi-game packages are all guaranteed at my site. If you lose or you don't make a profit on a multi-game package, I will credit your account the exact amount of your purchase price. No, you won't get your money back, but you'll have money put into your account. You could use that anytime toward future purchases, anytime you wish. In any event, for Jesse Shul, Sean Higgs, Joey D'Amico, and Ross Benjamin, we'd like to wish each and every one of you out there a very, very lucky day. God bless, folks.